Yes, there is a law. I just don't remember what the law is right now. But essentially, kung ano yung inutang, dapat bayaran. So we are paying interest expense and we're paying principal. Roughly $1 trillion a year ang principal na binabayaran natin. But more or less, roll over lang yan. We roll it over. We borrow $1 trillion to pay the $1 trillion. Roll over lang yung debt. Halos lahat ng bansa sa buong mundo, halos ganun.
Ito po ang, isa pa po, thank you so much, Madam Chairman, for that. Na-curious lang po ako, there is a table here which shows that nakabalagay po, no, the Marcos Jr. administration inherited a large debt of 12.8 trillion from past administrations. And may nakikita po akong line dito po na may nakalagay, bumaba po tayo sa 41%. Ngayon, 63% na po. Can you enlighten us on this po, Madam
correct.
Chair?
That's correct. There is a slide. Teka, happy today's slide. That is correct. When BBM Jr. became president in 2022, the debt was 12.8 trillion ang minana niya. And the debt to GDP ratio then was roughly 62%. Okay? Then the other number you mentioned, when President Arroyo became president, she inherited roughly a 70% debt to GDP. When she stepped down, it went down to 51% of GDP. Noong panahon ni President Aquino, bumaba pa yan to 41% of GDP, debt to GDP. Tapos nung naging Pangulo si President Duterte, dahil sa pandemic na rin, from 41%, bumalik sa 62% yung debt to GDP ratio.
Would you mind to project this po for the House of Representatives, Madam Chair, para makita po namin lahat? And for those who don't know, this is page 16 po, no, of our Revenue and Financing Program. Madam Chair, what is the automatic appropriations law for debt?
PD 1177.
Tama po.
Yes.
Madam Chair, what is, could you tell us something about this PD 1177 and how it relates to our national debt? Kasi I am bothered po that, and pardon again my ignorance, saan pong page nakasulat sa NEP po yung atin pong 15%? Or is it spread out throughout? And is there a listing po of all the debts that we are paying?
Yes, it's all found in the BESF.
Saan po?
Budget of Expenditure and Sources of Financing.
Pasensya na po, pakiulit lang po, Madam Chair.
It's found in the accompanying document, which is the Budget of Expenditure and Sources of Financing.
Okay. My question, tayo po in Congress, we are supposed to have the power of the purse. Ano po, Madam Chair? But very few people are aware that we automatically nawawala na po yung 15% ng ating budget and nobody's asking any questions about this. And it bothers me also, Madam Chair, that no member of Congress was there or seated in the DepDev ICC meetings when they determined which debts are we going to incur. Meron po bang member of Congress that also scrutinizes how we get our debts and who decides po?
When you pass the budget, halimbawa for 2026, we're discussing the budget now, there will be an additional debt of 1.6 trillion. That is a deficit for next year. In effect, when you approve this, you're saying that the executive can borrow the 1.6 trillion.
Thank you so much for that, Madam Chair. Yes, we have approved that the executive can borrow, but what will the executive be borrowing? And are we part of this? Because next year, we'll be paying for that na po. And as the ones appropriating the entire budget, which includes our debt service, we had no participation in which projects will be approved or not approved.
It's all in the budget. It's all in the BESF presented to each member of Congress.
Yes, which it happened po, Madam Chair, after the fact that the debts were incurred. We were not there during the time that the debts were discussed nor incurred.
Again, we're talking about the 2026 budget, and we are presenting that there will be a deficit of 1.6 trillion. And once that is approved, then government will borrow that 1.6 trillion, and in the presentation and in the BESF, more or less 80% will be domestic and 20% will be foreign.
No, I agree with that, Madam Chair, and I am aware of that process. What I'm just concerned about is after we approve the 1 trillion or however much, Congress loses its power of the purse. Because we don't know anymore, Madam Chair, kung ano na pong nangyari doon sa 1.3 na inaprubahan natin. Because we are not part of any ICC meeting, we are not part of the NEDA, and we do not know po which debts were incurred. And next year, kasama na po siya sa budget. So yun po yung punto ko. I would like Congress to have, this is 15% of the budget. This is a very large amount. And we are not discussing which, there's only an NEDA ICC meeting. And Congress or the Senate, we are not part of this. So that concerns me po. And moving on, Madam Chair, I would like to also establish na yung napakatagal po nung proseso ng ICC. Kami po 15 years bago nagkaroon po ng isang loan. And now it's taking us another 10 years, so probably 15 years. Mabuti po bata pa po ako nang nag-umpisa yon. But what I'm trying to say is, by the time makakasa po tayo ng foreign loan, we're already paying because of the slow process of everything. And bago ho magawa yung foreign loan na maimpisahan man lamang, nagbabayad na tayo. May I ask, Madam Chair, what is the average time po of maturity? For the time that the loan is signed to the time that the loan is inaugurated or finished, sa amin po, it took 15 years. What is the average time po? Meanwhile, bayad ho tayo ng bayad due to this automatic appropriation. Basically, yung punto ko po, we need to make this process faster because we are paying. And tumatakbo din ho, tumataas din po yung cost of construction and all costs. So, yun lang po, Madam Chair. Would you care to comment po, Madam Chair?
ICC process implementation. What is it?
Representative Bondok was asking, is there an average maturity for the loans?
Yes, and to share that ours was
our-
15 years.
Our average maturity is roughly 8 years today. And the average time process for the ICC is 2 years.
Ayoko na ho. Madam Chair, the point I'm trying to raise is 15% of our budget is immediately taken to pay debt. We are neither part of that discussion. After we approve the next year's possible spending, we are no longer consulted about where is the debt, what loans are we going to undertake. As the holding the power of the purse, we need to know this because this is 15% of our purse. Madam Chair, have you considered
Representative
giving-
Bondok, my
Opo.
apologies, the time has expired. Would you like to sign up
Sige
for a
po.
second round?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Just to add, my understanding is that there's a congressional oversight with the Committee on Ways and Means with regard to ODAs.
Yes, I can confirm. There's an oversight within the Committee on Ways and Means covering ODAs.
Madagdag lang din po natin na nasa Constitution po, Section 20, that the President, Section 20 ng Constitution, that the President or the Executive may contract or guarantee foreign loans on behalf of the Republic of the Philippines with the prior concurrence of the Monetary Board and subject to such limitations as may be provided by law. The complete report of its decision on applications for loans to be contracted and guaranteed by the government of the Philippines, and we shall furnish the Congress of such report.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair.
Just to add, my appreciation of that is that the President can borrow money, but he cannot spend it unless authorized by Congress.
Thank you very much, Representative Bondok. Next to interpolate from the minority, Representative Alanti. Next, Deputy Minority Leader Bong Sontay. Next would be Representative Terry Redon. So that's it for the first round on the part of the minority. So with the indulgence of the minority, as there are no other minority members signed up for the first round, we'll all proceed with the interpollators remaining on the part of the majority for the first round. May now recognize Representative Ryan Recto.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, to the DBCC, thank you for all of your work and your time today to be with us. I just have a question. First question towards Deb, sir. In 2023, the poverty rate was recorded at 15.5%. With that, we were able to lift 2.5 million Filipinos out of poverty. And it is hoped that in the next 4 years, it is aspired that we elevate 9 or 10 more million Filipinos above the poverty line and hopefully achieve our goal of reducing poverty to a single digit or 9% by 2028. So great job on the part of the economic team and the government. While the national poverty rate has dropped, the poverty incidence for indigenous people, fisher folk, and farmers still remain very high. These poverty incidences were recorded at 32.4%, 27.4%, and 27% respectively. It is rather encouraging that the rate is below the government's target. However, Madam Chair and the DBCC, data from the Philippine Statistics Authority clearly highlight the persistent vulnerability of these specific sectors. Madam Chair, perhaps economic growth can be more inclusive for these sectors. Maybe it's worth looking into more targeted interventions and investments in these sectors so that we can properly distribute wealth and opportunities. So, sir, if you were to, this representation would just like to ask the honorable body, which specific programs or economic strategies can ensure that economic growth is more inclusive and equitable relative to these sectors, these three sectors, within the confines of the 2026 NEP? Tinatanong ko lang po ito upang magampanan po natin ang pangako at tungkulin natin bilang kawani ng gobyerno na walang Pilipinong maiiwan po. Thank you for your time, sir.
Yeah. Madam Chair, yes. First, indeed, what we are aiming to achieve in the 2026 budget and also future budgets is to enhance the inclusiveness of our economic development. And to achieve that, we need to create jobs, quality jobs in those sectors that you basically enumerated, and for the entire economy. But more importantly, we need to improve the targeting mechanisms of our programs. I'm talking about the social protection programs, the health programs, the education programs, as well as in the case of fisher folks, farmers, rural and women and